We have an absolutely massive and highly urgent breaking weather alert for you right now as the beautiful state of Hawaii is once again staring directly into the face of a completely terrifying natural disaster. Emergency management officials are operating on the highest possible level of alert today as a brand new and incredibly powerful storm system violently bears down on the islands, bringing a completely fresh threat of catastrophic sudden flash flooding to the deeply exhausted local communities. This massive atmospheric beast is aggressively dumping several more inches of heavy, relentless torrential rain directly onto the exact same vulnerable regions that are currently still desperately struggling to recover from previous massive severe weather events. On the live video footage currently emerging from the highly impacted neighborhoods is absolutely heartbreaking as residents are forced to watch their quiet local streets rapidly transform right back into incredibly dangerous and deeply flooded rushing rivers. To truly comprehend the absolute massive scale and severe danger of this current deeply terrifying crisis, you must look closely at exactly what these incredibly resilient island communities have recently endured. This completely devastating new wave of heavy, severe weather is actively hammering the state less than a single month after consecutive massive Kona Lows storm systems violently drenched the entire Hawaiian island chain. Those incredibly destructive previous storms caused absolutely catastrophic and highly dangerous flash flooding, specifically across the highly populated islands of Maui and Oahu, where emergency crews were completely overwhelmed by the sheer volume of sudden water. Because the deep volcanic soil across these specific islands is still completely heavily saturated and deeply waterlogged from those massive previous storms, the ground literally cannot logically absorb a single additional drop of fresh water today. This extremely dangerous structural reality means every single new inch of rain that falls instantly becomes highly destructive surface runoff aggressively rushing down the steep mountainsides. So the sheer volume of highly concentrated water currently hammering the islands has absolutely zero parallel in recent memory, actively pushing local infrastructure far beyond its logical breaking point. The massive concrete storm drains and local street gutters are actively violently bubbling over and aggressively backing up, causing deeply contaminated floodwaters to violently surge straight back onto the busy intersections and vital commuter highways. This incredibly rapid and highly aggressive surface runoff is actively creating the perfect terrifying recipe for sudden massive landslides that can effortlessly wipe out entire heavily traveled roadways in the absolute blink of an eye. The completely relentless nature of these massive storm cells means this is not just one quick passing heavy shower, but rather multiple aggressive rounds of intense and heavily concentrated downpours violently training over the exact same coastal communities hour after exhausting hour. This incredibly dangerous cascading failure across the entire local transportation network is completely paralyzing essential commercial traffic and completely blocking critical access routes for emergency medical vehicles trying to reach highly vulnerable patients. The immediate local consequences for the deeply exhausted residents have been absolutely catastrophic across the entire state today, as emergency dispatchers are being completely overwhelmed with highly frantic calls for immediate rescue. Brave local high-water rescue teams have already been actively deployed, and they are violently battling highly treacherous weather conditions to perform incredibly dangerous swift water saves, making it abundantly clear that any unnecessary risk-taking by the general public is actively adding severe massive pressure to first responders. We are seeing incredibly dangerous situations where heavily submerged cars are completely blocking major traffic arteries, causing massive miles-long delays and forcing other highly frustrated drivers to attempt incredibly risky illegal detours through completely unknown and equally deeply flooded side streets. So automotive experts and local mechanics are heavily warning everyone watching that attempting to aggressively force your vehicle through these deeply flooded streets is an absolute recipe for a complete financial and highly dangerous mechanical disaster. State highway patrol officers and local emergency management officials are actively issuing desperate and highly urgent pleas to all Hawaii residents and visiting tourists to simply stay completely off the dangerous roadways unless you are facing an absolute, completely terrifying life-or-death emergency today. They are violently repeating the absolutely critical and deeply life-saving simple rule that you must logically turn around and never ever attempt to forcefully drive through any flooded streets regardless of how incredibly shallow the dangerous water might initially appear to the naked eye. The incredibly brave people of Hawaii have already endured so much absolute total devastation recently, and our thoughts are entirely with them as they fiercely battle yet another completely catastrophic natural weather disaster. You absolutely must stay completely highly vigilant and completely informed as this monumental weather crisis continues to aggressively develop minute by minute across the islands. Hit that subscribe button right now, smash the notification bell, and stay tightly locked to our channel as we continuously bring you the absolute latest critical emergency updates and live breaking coverage on this highly dangerous Hawaii flooding event.